Hello, welcome to this video. In today's lesson you're going to need this equipment: a rubber, a protractor, a ruler, a pencil and a compass. And make sure you've got a separate pencil in your compass as well. Before you get going, just do a little health check on your compass. Make sure it's not too loose and not too tight either. You also need to make sure that the pencil and the sharp point of the compass are completely in line. Okay, you can see that the top of them are completely in line. Okay, they should not be out of sync like that. Okay, make sure they're absolutely in line. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to be constructing triangles today. And if you want any further examples or explanations at the end of this video, you can watch Core Bit Maths video numbers 81, 82, 83, 79 and 73. Okay, let's have a look at question number 1. It says, construct triangle ABC such that angle BAC is 44 degrees, angle BCA is 67 degrees, and line AC is 6.8 centimetres. Now this is quite difficult to interpret when you're just given it all in words. So let's start off by doing a little sketch. And what I mean by sketch is basically a rough drawing of what it will look like. Sometimes you're given this in an exam question, but sometimes you have to draw it yourself. Okay, so let's just start off with a basic triangle. Okay, everyone can just draw a little basic triangle. And it says I'm constructing triangle ABC. So all that means is I've got to label the vertices as A, B, C. And vertices, remember, is the mathematical name for the corners of the shape. So the vertices are labelled A, B and C. Okay, done that. I've got to make it such that angle BAC is 44 degrees. What does BAC mean? It literally means if you get your pencil and you go from B to A to C, what angle is created going from B to A to C? Well, it literally means this angle is created. If I was to draw a line going from there to there to there, that angle would be created. And that has got to be 44 degrees. Another way to see that angle BAC is it's literally the angle at that centre letter there. Okay, so you can see that it's the angle at that letter A. Okay, so it's the angle where that centre letter is. Okay, it's right in the middle there between B and C. It's the angle at A. You might also see this written like this, okay, with a little hat sort of thing on top of the A. That's also the same thing. Okay, it's exactly the same thing. Angle BCA, so let's see that, BCA, so it's this angle here, is 67 degrees. And line AC, that's this one, is 6.8 centimetres, so that's 6.8 centimetres. Okay, that looks like something I can draw. Now that I've interpreted the question. So you start off with a baseline, okay, and by baseline I mean basically the bottom line here, okay. Don't do it up here because obviously your triangle is going to go here, so move your ruler down, give yourself plenty of space above it if you can, and you're going to do a baseline of 6.8 centimetres. So here we go, 6.8 centimetres, that's my baseline. And then I'm going to need my protractor to do my angle here, okay? If you think about how your triangle gets formed, it's like that. Your angle from this side, 44 degrees, needs to be red going up like that, okay? And the angle 67 is going to be red going from up like that, okay? So that helps when you're looking at your protractor. So as ever, the most important part of the protractor is there, and I'm going to put that right on the end point there. Okay, and then I'm going to read up 44 degrees. So that's going here. If you want to follow these examples as I'm doing them, I would actually recommend that. So if you want to pause and get all your equipment ready now and some paper, it might be useful to follow these as I'm doing them actually. Because then you can see exactly where these instruments are going. So these things like protractors and compasses and so on. So you can pause the video now if you want to go and get those items. So I'm putting my protractor on the end line here, and I'm going to measure 44 degrees up from this way, because remember my triangle's forming like that. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 44 degrees there. Okay, and I'm going to just draw a line. Doesn't really matter how long it is, but it's at that angle. Okay, this just gives me the angle reference. It's not where I'm drawing my line to, it just gives me the angle. So I'm going to go from that end line all the way up here. I don't really mind how long it is, but I know that that dash meant that that angle was 44 degrees. And then on the other side, I'm going to do an angle of 67 degrees. So again, that centre point there must be right on the end of the line there, and measure 67 degrees. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 67. That's where my 67 is. And it's really tempting if people have drawn the line to here to join up those two lines, but that wasn't where the line ends, that was just the angle reference, remember? So I'm joining up to where my protractor said 67 degrees, which was here. So I'm joining up to there, and that's 67 degrees. And it doesn't matter if you leave those bits on there, that's absolutely fine. Okay, number 2, construct triangle DEF such that angle EDF is 58 degrees, line DE is 5.6 centimetres, and line DF is 6.2 centimetres. So again, let's just do a little sketch because I don't know how this is going to look. So DEF. EDF is 58, so EDF, it's this angle here, it's 58 degrees. And remember, it's just basically the angle at D. There. Line DE, this one here, is 5.6 centimetres. So I've got to make sure that line there is 5.6 centimetres. And line DF, that's this one, is 6.2 centimetres. Okay. So again, start off with a baseline of 6.2 centimetres. And I'm going to draw that here. 6.2, that's my baseline, 6.2 centimetres. And then I'm going to measure this angle here, okay, 58 degrees. So I'm going to put a centre point of my protractor on here and measure up from this way, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 58 degrees. And keep that line going for the time being. I know it's got to be 5.6, but I'm just going to basically show the angle to begin with. And then I'm going to think about measuring it to 5.6. So I'm going to get my ruler right on 0 here and measure 5.6 centimetres. So 5.6 centimetres is there. And now I'm going to join up there to where my 5.6 was measured. That was my angle marker, that was my length marker there. So I know for sure that that was 5.6 centimetres. And this was 58 degrees. Okay, and finally, this type of triangle. Construct triangle GHI such that GI is 6.4 centimetres and GH is 8.6 centimetres and HI is 5.7 centimetres. Okay, so quick sketch. And I'm going to label it GHI. It says GI is 6.4 centimetres. This is 6.4 centimetres. GH is 8.6 centimetres. And HI is 5.7 centimetres. Okay, so start off with a baseline. 6.4. my 6.4 baseline. Now, I haven't got any angles on this one, so this is actually now requiring your compass, okay? Why does it require your compass? Because we need these two lines here to match up really accurately. But how do we do that? We need the compass to show us the mark where those two lines would cross. So I'm going to start off by doing this line here. And I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to open out my compass. So make sure those two are in line. Open out your compass to 8.6. Why? Because that tells me it's 8.6. Sometimes it helps if you very gently place the sharp point of the compass onto your actual ruler. Okay, so I'm literally just resting on there. And open out to 8.6. So that is now 8.6 centimetres. Okay. And what I'm going to do is try not to open that up anymore, because that is really accurately at 8.6. Now put the sharp point of your compass into that side. Why? Because this is the length. Look at my sketch. That's got to be 8.6. Now I'm doing it with my left hand here, but if you are, because I can work with both my left and my right, but if you're right-handed, just make sure it's still going from this left-hand point, okay? And you are drawing an arc. What I mean by an arc, it's just a part of a circle, okay? That is just part of a circle. Okay, so you could do it with your left hand if you feel comfortable doing that as well. Okay, and then the other one is 5.7. Now it might be, and I can see where this is going to go now, it might be that you need to extend your arc a little bit, okay? So I'm going to extend the arc a little bit because I have a feeling that line's not going to match up. So keep going with the arc. You can even go, you can even do a whole circle if you really want, if you've got the room. But just keep that arc going as far as you can. So obviously I can only do that much. And why have I done that? Because the next thing that I've got to do is 5.7, and if that arc wasn't long enough, it wouldn't cross. So I'm going to now open this out to 5.7. So I've opened this out to 5.7, and because the 5.7 is coming out of the side or the point marked I, I'm going to put this into the point I here, okay, which is on the right hand side of the triangle. And I can see now that they're going to cross there. Okay, so that now is a 5.7 centimetre line, and this from here to here is an 8.6 centimetre line. So now all that remains is for me to join these up. So there is the triangle. And this is 8.6 centimetres, and this is 5.7 centimetres. Okay, it doesn't matter if your sketch is not as the actual final construction is, it just helps you understand the notations of GH and GI and so on. It just helps you understand which way round different sides are. If you want any more on those three different triangles, you need to look at videos 81, 82 and 83. And they have particular names, and I'll just quickly talk about those names now. This type of triangle here is called an angle side angle triangle, simply because you've got an angle, a side and an angle. Okay, so these are sometimes abbreviated to ASA, angle side angle triangles. These ones are called side angle side because they've got a side, an angle and a side. SAS, side angle side. These ones don't have any angles. They have three sides. Well, all triangles got three sides, but in this situation you've got information for the length of all three sides. So they are called side, side, side. And that's what you'll see them referred to as on Corbett Maths. Okay, under 81, 82 and 83. ASA, SAS and SSS.